Hi everyone. Today I am going to summarize the lesson ions and everything we have covered till now. So in this video you will see how we define an atom, 2. Recognize the formation of an ion, 3. Identify an ionic compound, how is it formed, and how to name it. First of all, definition of an ion. If we would like to define an ion, it is as the following. An ion is an electrically charged chemical species. An ion has a charge and it is characterized by the nature of its charge. So it depends on the charge it carries. For example, if I have F minus fluoride or Ca2 plus, F minus has a negative charge. However, Ca2 plus has a positive charge. So here I have two different ions with totally different charges. What do we call the ions with these charges? They have a name, of course. An ion that is positively charged, and we have an ion that is negatively charged. Ions that are positively charged, we call them cation. And an ion that is negatively charged, I call it an anion. Examples of cations are as the ones I just showed: Ca2 plus, Na plus, NH4 plus. Ca2 plus is calcium ion, Na plus is sodium ion, and NH4 plus is the ammonium ion. Examples of anions are HCO3 minus, which is carbonate, Cl minus, which is chloride, and NO3 minus, which is the nitrate. So ions can be classified into two kinds: cations, the ones that have positive charge, and anions, that are the ions that have negative charge. The ion formed of one single atom. So if I have an ion that is made of one atom alone, then it is called a monoatomic ion. Examples like Ca2 plus. Okay, the 2 plus is the charge. Don't get confused. So the numbers that you see up, like the power, it's a charge. It's the charge of the ion. But if I look down, I have one Ca, I don't have more than one Ca, so I have one atom of Ca, then it is monoatomic. The same goes for Na plus, Cl minus, I have one of each these. The ion formed of 3 or more atoms is called polyatomic ion, like here NH4 plus. Okay, I don't care about the charge. I look down, I have one nitrogen and I have 4 hydrogens. So 1 nitrogen plus 4 hydrogens, I have 5 atoms in total. So absolutely it is a polyatomic ion. The same goes for HCO3 minus, and the same goes for NO3 minus. An ion is the result of a gain or loss of electron. So if I want to ask myself now, you're gonna ask me, how is an ion formed? How we get Na plus? How we have F minus? Well, the answer is because an ion is the result of a gain or loss of electron or electrons. So maybe an ion can gain or lose one electron, or gain or lose more than one electron. Let's see. So here we are going to discuss the formation of ion. Let's see the formation of cations. The cation Na+. Look here. Sodium atom, which is Na, we know it that the neutral sodium atom, we know it has 11 protons, which means 11 plus particles, because we know and we learned that protons are positively charged. Also, in a neutral atom, the number of protons are equal to the number of electrons. So absolutely, I will have 11 electrons as the protons, but here I have 11 negatively charged particles, because we know that electrons are negatively charged. So if you see here, what did they do? 11 plus with 11 minus, their total charge will be 0 if I add them. So that's why the sodium atom originally it is a neutral atom. Now, all of you look at the last shell of the Na. The K shell has 2 electrons, alright. The L shell has 8 electrons. Okay, let's go to the M shell. It has only 1 electron. And the M shell, it needs to be filled with 17 more electrons. So this is a mission impossible. Alright? So this is an impossible mission. So that's why the Na loses an electron, as you see here. So the Na, the electron it has is at the last shell. It loses this electron. It kicks out this electron. Okay, so initially I had 11 protons, and the same goes for an ion. So when the ion lost, so when the Na, lost that electron, look, it has only now 2 shells, okay? So it lost the last electron. So if it lost 1 electron, initially it has 11 electrons. Now after it lost 1 electron, they became 10. So 11 plus 10 minus how much they will be? Of course 1 plus. So the difference is 1 plus. So I have 1 more electron than the I have 1 more protons than the electrons. So the Na will carry a plus 1 charge. If I want to represent what happened here, how did the cation, how did the Na plus formed, I can say that the formation representation is initially I had an Na atom, a neutral atom, so I write Na. Then I draw an arrow. It became that Na after it lost an electron, it became Na plus ion plus the 1 electron it lost. This electron it keeps flying in the whatever we have in the medium, in the air, whatever we are working with. The second formation we're gonna learn about is the formation of anion. Here I have the anion F minus fluoride. We know initially that a fluorine atom, look at the word fluorine atom, it has 9 protons, and because it's an atom, a neutral atom, it has 9 electrons. So it has plus 9 particles and minus 9 particles. When I say particles, always imagine them as balls having charge in the middle. That's it. So plus 9 minus 9 together, they are 0. So this is the fluorine atom when it was neutral. Look at the first shell, the K shell. The fluorine had only 2 electrons. Look at the second shell, which is the K shell. I can see 7 electrons. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we know that the L shell is to be fully filled, it needs to have 8 electrons. So here I have 7, and that means the fluorine needs 1 more electron. So if it needs an electron, absolutely it will gain an electron. So the fluorine here, it gains an electron. So here the fluorine, it needs 1 more electron. So when it gains that electron, here you see the one that has a different shape like a star. This is the electron, the 1 electron that the fluorine gained. So initially the fluorine atom had only 9 electrons. Now it gained an electrons, so they will become 10 electrons. So I have, look at the fluoride ion. Now it has plus 9 particles, plus 9, yani plus positive 9 particles, which is protons, and minus 10, which are electrons. If I subtract them, the total charge will be minus 1. So the charge that is carried by the fluoride ion will be negative 1, which is minus 1. This is how a fluoride ion can be formed. And this is the formation representation equation. Initially, I had F, which is the fluorine atom alone, plus it gained an electron. So plus 1 electron, it gave me the F minus ion. The last thing we're going to learn for today is the ionic compound. An ionic compound is a compound made of cations and anions held together. So anions and cations, plus and minus, they always attract to each other. So the same goes for cations and anions. They get attracted to each other and they hold each other. The charge of the ionic compound is neutral. overall. Okay? It doesn't have an ionic compound, doesn't have any charge. Let's see how an ionic compound is formed, and I'm going to show you 3 examples. Let's start by the Na plus and the Cl minus. Well, Na plus, which is sodium, and Cl minus, which is chloride. The Na carries a plus 1. When I say plus, means plus 1. When I have one plus alone, means plus 1. And the chloride carries minus 1. The plus and the minus, they cancel each other. That's why, so the plus 1 minus 1 equals to 0, so they cancel each other. So first of all, you look at the if they carry similar charges, equal charges but different signs, of course they will cancel each other. What they will become NaCl. How we name it? It's sodium chloride. Let's take another example where I have difference in charges. So here we have another 2 ions, Ca2 plus, which is calcium, and Cl minus, or minus 1, the same, is chloride. Here the Ca, it has 2 positive charge, 2 plus. Cl minus has minus 1. Now here we can't cancel these charges because they are not equal. Alright, if I had plus 2 and minus 2, okay, they cancel each other, but here they can't cancel each other. So what we will do the crisscross method, where the plus 2, I will take the number 2 and put it down to the Cl, and I will take the 1 of the Cl and give it to the Ca. Like this. So I just crisscross, I take the number that the Ca carries and I give it to the Cl, and I take the number that the Cl has and give it to the Ca without the plus and the minus charges. And it will be as the following. It will become Ca, and I will take the number in the yellow box, so Ca alone, and Cl2. I will take the number in the next to the Cl, which is in blue circle, which is 2. So it will become CaCl2, and it will be named as the following: calcium chloride. Another example, if I have calcium ion again, but here I have the nitrate ion, okay, NO3 minus. Here I have 2 plus, the NO3 minus has minus 1. The same way I do the crisscross method, I give the 2 of the Ca and I give it to the NO3, and I take the minus 1, or the number 1 that the NO3 has, and I give it to Ca, and it will become Ca, and I open a big bracket and I write NO3 and I put the 2 outside, because I can't put the 2 next to the 3. It doesn't work like that. You have to open a big bracket and write it like that. And it will be named as the following: calcium nitrate. This is how we name an ionic compound, and this is how we get the formula of an ionic compound.